Come on in, join. Just like I told you guys about today, we have a Q&A. So you guys come on and then share. Come on in with your questions and everything. I'm looking at my screen because I'm checking my laptop to see when a question comes in or something like that. But then, how you guys doing? Okay, we are here. Hi. When you come on in and you send a hi, I'm checking the page. I'm checking here. Hi guys. Hello. So welcome to today's Q&A session. Welcome. Text someone to come on because today I'm here to answer all of your questions. You guys know the most universities are now opening up. Hi, Chi Dindu. I'm doing well. What about you? I hope you're doing well. Everything is fine. Everything is good. I'm doing well. Thank you. For asking. Thank you for asking. Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. So you guys share the link. You know, share the link and everything. Let's share it so that people will come on. I'm here to answer your questions. It's just going to be a 30-minute session. Yes, it's going to be a 30-minute session. So let's go on or off. Well, it depends. Okay, Aminat is asking, do you think it's better to leave, on or off student residences? So at the end of the day, if you get the regional scholarships and they are giving you an accommodation, then it's best. The reason I'm saying that is accommodation outside, apart from the fact that it's difficult for you to get, is also like the cost is like over the roof. Not like over the roof, but then it might be a bit difficult. So to me, it's best for you to live in the student residence, especially if it's from the university or from the regional bodies. So if like maybe you're going to Lazio, Lazio Disco have their own like a couple of accommodations for students. So in this situation, it's best for you to be there as compared to you going to get your own apartment and then sharing it with a couple of people, like maybe 2 or 3. So it just, at the end of the day, I think you should go for the student residences. What do you think? That's what I think you should go for. It's best in terms of cost, and then it kind of like saves you from all the stress that comes with dealing with maybe an outside landlord or anything like that. So yes, go for student residence. That's if you get it, go for it. But then if you don't, then obviously go for your own path. We have the online platforms that kind of like give students opportunities like student accommodation, or you can kind of like get a private accommodation on your own. So you can choose any of those routes, but in student residences like are actually the best for students. They're the best for students. Seriously, they're the best for students. Okay, so she didn't do it accent. I've applied to 3 different schools in Italy. My fear is the acceptance rate. Okay. Um. Oh, thank you. Okay, what exactly are you afraid of? What about the acceptance rates that you're afraid of? Because at the end of the day, if you meet the requirements, then there's a high possibility of being accepted. So first of all, I think it's not just that you apply, but then ensure that you meet the requirements stated by the university. Okay, so like, did you meet the requirements? And then why are you scared? Like, why are you scared that you might not be accepted or anything like that? Okay. No, I think I should be checking the questions from here. Let me check the questions from here. Okay. I'm trying to check your questions from here instead of. Okay. I can see your questions now from my laptop. Because from here, I cannot see. I cannot really see. Okay, so I have a question. Thank you. When will? Oh, Aminat is asking, when will the applications for universities start for 20? Girl, they are opened. Like, let me share a list of universities that are. Oh, I think it's on my phone. But then let me share a list of universities that are currently. I think I'll kind of like pin it. But then, like, they are opened. Most of them are opening now. So by the end of November, most universities should have been open. But then obviously, the list that I have is on this phone. Yeah, but then I think, yeah, let me check. I think on my laptop too. So the list of universities that are currently open is that of Macerata. The deadline for the first call, the deadline is that of 30th of January, February, March, April 2024. Then the University of Siena, yeah, it's also open. The first call closes on 15th of January 2024. The University of let me see, the University of Bergamo, let me try and check. University of Padova, the deadline for the first call is that of 2nd of February 2024. Then after this second call is going to open, then the deadline for that one is going to be 2nd of January, February, March, April, May, 2nd of May 2024. So these are a couple of universities that are open. That of Padova, yes, that of Padova is also opened. That of Pavia is also opened. Yes, so I think it's possible for me to share the links. It's possible for me to pin the links. Let me copy this. I'm pinning this list on in the chat. I'm pinning this list on in the chat. But then a couple of them have I've also signaled the applications fees and all of that, and then I'll be making a video on them as well. But then University of Sapienza will be opening on the 27th of November 2023, obviously. So they will be opening for this academic year. You should look out for it. 27th, yeah, 27th. And then the deadline for the application is going to be 29th of January, February, March, April, 29th of April 2024. Yes, so I'm pinning the list in the chat. Yeah, it's here. Paste. I've also included the links to directly to the application page. The application pages, obviously, yeah, I'll also be making a video on them, but then I'm pinning it here as well. I've also included the admission fee, the various admission fees, so that you guys will know if you're applying, you know that, oh yeah. So Salento, okay, I'm trying to pin it, sorry. So wait, let me send, I'm trying to pin the list. It seems like it's too much, so let me take this one out. I cut this. Sapienza. Okay. 24. Guys, give me a minute. I'm trying to pin the list here. Okay. So I've pinned the list. I'm going to do it in 3 sections because I could not pin everything because it was too much. Yeah, so the other section is here. Okay, this, then I cut it. Okay. So I've pinned the entire list. Yes, I think. The second color doesn't even. Okay. Okay. So sorry, I'm back. I've pinned, you can see the entire list. I've pinned it, and then with the links to apply and everything, I've pinned them. Sapienza will be opening like soon, just like I mentioned. So you need to like take note of that. Yes, so let me check the questions. Okay. The volume. Ah, sorry. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry. Francis, thank you so much. I didn't check on that. I've increased the volume now. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Okay. Wait, let me start from, okay. Let me start from the back so that I'll be able to know like your questions. I'll be able to see your questions and everything. So, okay, Mojit. Okay, so Mojit asked for the when the applications will be opened. I've pinned it on like on the page in the chat. I've pinned it. A couple of like universities are opened, so yeah, in subsequent like subsequent days or weeks, I'll be showing you the application process to how to apply to some of these universities. Then Churchill is asking, please, is a CGP of 3.01 acceptable? Like, yes, it is. It is. Like, if it's the same system in Ghana that I know of, 3.01 is a good, that's second class, right? Churchill, that's second class in your country, right? So yeah, it is acceptable. There is a system where you can convert to kind of like know the equivalence of your CGPA in that of the Italian one. I think I have a video on it. I don't have, I could have pinned the link on how to directly convert, but then you can check my video out on it to know. But then yes, it's accepted. Okay, sorry if I mentioned your name wrongly. Mehawi is asking, please tell us list of university. So which list? Because the ones that are opened, I've kind of like pinned them in the chat. So which universities are you talking about? Then I have okay. Okay. I have another question. Can one request for, well, if the university takes application fees, then obviously you have to pay for it. But then if the university do not take application fees, then obviously yes, you can apply. So that was what who asked that question? Wait, someone asked the question whether we can ask for fee waiver. Yeah, it's Chidindu who asked the question, can one request for application fee waiver? If the university takes application fees, then obviously yes, you have to pay. If the university do not take application fees, then obviously yeah, you can kind of like apply without being worried about that. So that is what you should take note of. Then the next question, Moji is asking, when would the application for University of Milan commence? As you know, most universities are opening up. That's something we should look out for. I've not currently checked their page, but then we should. I think in the coming week or so, it should be opening up. So when I do check, obviously, then you're going to see a video on the application for that university. If not, you can also be constantly like checking the page to be updated on that. Then okay, Prabhas is saying, please reply. Please, what question did you ask and what do I need to reply to? Let me know. Okay. So I have a couple of questions. As I'm answering you guys your questions, I have a couple, like loads of questions from you guys. So I have a question. Since I'm just answering from here, I'm not going to mention the names of the people. But then someone actually asked whether it's possible the person's boyfriend is in Italy. And the person asked whether it's possible for the boyfriend to be her sponsor during the visa application. I also have a couple of questions that I'll be answering. So first of all, what you should know is your parents or you or people you are really closely with in Ghana, only your parents and then you who can sponsor you. Or if it's a relative, the person needs to be your guardian. So let me put it, your guardian, yourself, and then that of your parents who can sponsor you. So if you want to be able to get the visa, these are the people that need to sponsor you in Ghana. In Nigeria, people related to you that you have the same surname with, that aside from you yourself, your family, your guardian, people related to you that bear your same surname, can kind of like how do I say it? Can sponsor you. So in that situation, your boyfriend, who is not your husband, cannot sponsor you for the visa application because your boyfriend doesn't have the responsibility to take care of you. So they will not consider such a person. I know they made exceptions in an instance where the person is living in Italy. But then if it's a family relative that the person is living in Italy, then that person can sponsor you. But then this person is your boyfriend. To me, I don't think it's a good option. But then the person who asked the question, you can try it out. But then I don't think your boyfriend living in Italy can sponsor you for your education. So that is what you should take note of. Then let me answer some of the questions here. Babas, what question did you ask? What question did you ask that I've not what question did you ask that I've not replied? Please let me know. Because I'm here. So if you have a question, it's you can kind of like answer it. You can ask the question. But then yeah, Chinedu is asking, University of Macerata deadline is not written correctly by you. Yes, because I was trying to paste everything, but then I can only send 200 by. So I think in deleting, I deleted. But then let me just check. Let me just show you the deadline, particularly for Macerata. The deadline for Macerata is 30th of January, February, March, April. 30th of April 2024. So that's the application deadline. So you need to kind of like take note of that. Yes, so for Macerata, that's the deadline. Then I have a question from Emmanuel. What's the best course to study in Italy? Masters with good job opportunity. Well, as long as you're interested in the course, I think that is the first thing, because if you just study because of job opportunity, it might not be the best motivation to keep you out here, because especially the system is intensive. The educational system is very intensive. So if you're not passionate about the course you are studying, at the end of the day, you might not be able to last out for the 2 years of your masters. So the first thing I'm going to say is, the best course to study is a course or a program that you are interested in, okay, that aligns with the career, you know, that aligns with the career you are looking out for and all of that. The next thing for me to, I think now, you technology, that of but then I feel like every field is good. But then if you're saying job opportunity, is it job opportunity here in Italy, in Europe, or back in your home country? So specify that before I give my view on it, because the opportunities here are different from the opportunities in your home country. So what exactly, where do you want this job opportunity? So specify that before I give a comment on that. Okay. I have a question from, what's best course to study in? Okay, yeah, I've answered that. Then Francis is asking, I want to do a masters in social work, but it looks as if social work is done only in Italy language. Yes, because they're going to teach you about the systems here and all of that. So some courses like law, like social work, just like you said, a couple of these courses, they're offered in Italian. Yes, that's one thing. That's one disadvantage of it. They are offered to capture like the local settings. Yeah, I've also seen that as well. It's offered in Italian. Because currently when you study social work, you get a job. Like you get a job wherever it is. You apply to UK, wherever, Germany, you get a job. But then I also looked through and I realized that no, it's like it was in Italian. So that's something I've also noticed. Then Chidindu is asking, can someone move with family? Do you mean in coming to study, or in moving around? Where exactly? But then if you're talking about moving in with your family, yes, it's possible. With your family, you mean your spouse and your children, or you mean your mother and your father? So let me, please, you guys make the question clear. By family, what do you mean by that? Is it with your spouse? Then with your spouse, yes, it's possible. I even have a video on the 2 routes for you. You can either come in before going to bring your spouse, which I think is the best route, or you can, before coming, you can process everything and come with your spouse. But then it takes a while, so using that route is not actually the best, because when you do process, when you get the appointment, if you're not in a country, you need to kind of like delegate someone to go for the appointment on your behalf. And then you're a student that you are now coming in. Who do you know to delegate the person to go for the appointment on your behalf? So I think the best option is for you to actually come in, and kind of before processing for your spouse to kind of like come and join you. And then one thing you should know is, if you want to bring your spouse, you should be ready to know that there are lots that will be required of you. You need to be able to have the financial capacity to take care of your spouse while you're out here. And then you also need to have a good accommodation. If it's only you, you can live in a student residence. But then if your spouse is joining you, the government will not allow you to live in a student residence. You need to get your own place to be able to live with your spouse. So that's one thing you also need to take note of. Yeah, before they can even approve you need to have like a residence of your own, an apartment of your own, before you can bring your spouse. So that is one thing that you should take note of. So if it's with your spouse, yes, it's possible to bring your spouse to Italy while studying. Yeah, let me point that. Then let me check other questions. Okay. Okay. What do you think about I mentioned probably um my Instagram ID is, it's just an, let me pen it in the chat, it's just an, that's all. So I've pinned it in the chat, you can kind of like, yeah. Then I have another question from Aminat. What do you think about Italian food as an African? Well, at the beginning it was pretty difficult, but then like the food is so good. Like the food is so nice. If you get like accustomed to it very quickly, you're really going to enjoy yourself, because there are a whole lot of options for you to kind of like choose from. So yes, the food is good. Just that majority of us out here, we still eat our African foods. Yeah, most of us, that's what we do. So we spend most of our money on our local foods. But then those people that are able to kind of like easily adapt, they still continue and just they just eat the food out here without necessarily being worried about our local foods. So yes, like it's good. The dishes, you have a whole lot of options to choose from, and then it's so nice. Sincerely, that's what I think. I have another question. What are the best for bachelor's program? What are the best public universities? Well, out here in Italy, every university is the best option for you. Like, University of Bologna. At the end of the day, to consider what is best for the program you want to study, instead of you looking at the university, you rather have to look at you, the students, meeting their requirement. Because the university might be best, but then you might not fit into the requirement to enter into that university. So I can mention for you University of Bologna, Sapienza, but then do you meet their requirements? So I think the best university for you is the university that you meet their requirements to kind of like be able to pursue the program that you want to study in. But at the end of the day, you guys know, you can just go to University Italy and kind of like search on the programs offered by the universities. Look out for the requirements. I just released a video on it, so you check out, do you meet the requirements? If you meet the university that you meet their requirements, then you just go there and apply. But then I cannot tell you which university you need to study at, okay? Because for we to consider best university, we need to consider the students' life there, the opportunities in that city. Then also one other thing we need to consider has to do with you, the student, whether you be able to take the pressure required in studying in that university. So that is something that we need to also take note of. So best university is not only because there are lots of high-ranking universities here in Italy, but then it is not necessarily that it might be best for you, because just like I mentioned, their students' life and all, like a lot of universities in Milan are among some of the big universities in Italy, but it might not be the best for you because the cost of living in Milan, it might not necessarily be the best for you if you cannot afford to live there. That's if you're not on scholarship. Even those on scholarship do suffer out there. So that is one thing that you also need to take note of. Then I have a question from Lord. Do University of Birmingham offer any other scholarship apart from the one with GRA? Well, I'm not seeing any other scholarship on their site aside from the one that they offer with the GRA. It's actually GRE is actually true. I also saw that, but then they don't have any. The other option is that of the governmental scholarship, and also that of the regional scholarship, which is affiliated to Bergamo. So apart from the university scholarship itself, the other options has to do with the government scholarship, and then has to also do with the regional scholarship. For what I know, like at this point, for international students, let me put it like that. Yes. So that is all I've also actually seen on their site. But in some of the like some of the university scholarship to take note of has to do with Bologna. They also give grants to students. Like University of Salento, like Salento, they also do have their own university scholarship for students. Then that of Padova, the Padova Excellence Award, they also give it out to students. So these are good opportunities for international students to be able to get like university scholarship. But then, as you guys know, and what you should actually know is, for you to be able to get this scholarship, it's good for you to apply during the first call, so that they can get the necessary time to evaluate you and consider you for these scholarships. So yeah, but then some of these universities, they consider you automatically. Others too, they don't consider you automatically. You have to apply for them for these scholarships. So just like Salento, like this, there are some tests that you go through before you are granted. But in other places like Camerino, there's a possibility for you to get, they just give you the scholarship. It just depends on what program you're actually going for. But then when it give it to you, sometimes it will cover your tuition, sometimes it will cover your not, it doesn't cover feeding, accommodation, and it will cover your tuition as well. And then I'm not sure they add pocket money, but then that is what you should take note of. Then I have a question from Chidindu. Can master student work while studying, and for how many hours? So you have 20 hours a week to work as a student. So there are opportunities for you to actually work in your university. There are opportunities for you to also work outside the university. So whichever job opportunity you get, you can work, but the maximum officially for 20 hours. Yes. Then Emmanuel is asking in Europe. Where in Europe? Wait. Emmanuel, were you the one who asked the first question regarding whether you can no, you asked about the best course to study. Okay, yeah, I answered that question. Prabhas, what question have you asked? And you keep saying, please reply, please reply. I told you, I think I mentioned, I saw your question, and I was like, for your program, you go to University Italy, and then you check whether you meet their requirements. Instead of you, because the best universities, obviously, you can consider University of Bologna, you can consider Sapienza, you can consider Polytechnic of let me check. Polytechnic of Milano, based on the current list that is out at this University of Milano, and all of these schools. These are some of the top schools. Padova, these are some of the top schools in Italy. But then, do you meet their requirements to enter into the particular program that you want to study? That's why I made mention of the fact that you will need to find out whether you meet their requirements for your specific program. You said you want to study bachelor's. You didn't even, okay, Bachelor of Arts program. Okay, yes. So you just need to go to University and do the search there. I cannot do the search on your behalf. You have to go to University and put your program there and then search, apply the filters and then search. You see from the list of universities, you go to their site, the university site, and then you check, okay, these are the requirements. Do I meet it? If you meet the requirements, fine, then that is the best university for you. Or if you meet a couple of them, their requirements, then these are the best universities for your particular course. Yes, so that is one thing you need to take note of. So let me go on. Okay, Chilindu is asking. Okay, I think I missed a couple of. Okay, I'm waiting. How can one easily search for schools in Italy offering English taught programs? Girl, I just released a video on it. You can start the search on University Italy. So let me pin University Italy sites in the chat, okay? No, I've already pinned the list of universities, so I cannot pin it again. But then let me drop it in the chat, and then check my recently released video on how to navigate the site, because you might not know how to actually go about it. So the site is universeitaly.it. So I cannot pin it because I've pinned the list of universities. So I've just dropped it as a comment in the chat. It's called universeitaly.it. So when you go there, you write the program you're interested in, then you apply filters. So I want program that are taught in English. I want that program to be a master's. I want it to be a master's program. Then you kind of like, there are options for you to choose either AFAM, institutions, or that of the university. So choose, you want to come and study in a university, right? So just apply the university filter and then apply all of these filters and then run the search. So to give you the list of universities that offer that program that you're interested in English. Then you go to their sites, check the requirements from there, and then you apply. So for you to apply, you have to register onto the university site first. So even though you do the search on University Italy, the application is separate from University Italy. So you have to go to the university site, register there, and then do the application there. So after you are done with the application, when the university accepts you, you have to go back to University Italy, register. Even before, I think this is the season, like while you're searching for the courses and all of that, take time to register onto the site, because that is like a registration on the site as an international student is a requirement by all universities in Italy. So you have to go back, when the university accepts you, you have to go back to University Italy and then pre-enroll to that university. So that is one thing that you also need to take note of. Yes, I have videos on this, so probably when you have time, you can kind of like check them out. And then I also, let me try and pin the video on how to navigate the University Italy site. I have it here. How to search for English programs on University. Yeah, so I've pinned it. No, not pinned it. I've left it in the chat. I'll drop it in the chat. Yes. Oh, okay. I have a lot of questions. Let me rush. Okay. Moving with both spouse or family while applying for master's program. Wait, what university of? Let me try. While applying for master program, do one out the exact location of the school into consideration to avoid going to an expensive part in Italy. Yeah, in University you can kind of like include the provinces that you're kind of like interested in, but then some of the expensive parts of Italy actually has opportunities for students. So that is, but then obviously Milan, I won't say Milan is overrated. There's a public platform, but obviously the cost of living in Milan is very expensive. In Rome is very expensive. In Bologna is a bit expensive, but then there are a lot of opportunities. So if I'm giving like 3 options: Rome, Bologna, and then Milan, I'm going to choose Bologna. Then next I'm going to choose Rome. Milan, I might not. Yeah, but then yeah, so I think the exact location, you can include it as a filter, and then you search the places that are interested. But then my advice is try and universities in the south, they are good. You easily get accepted into these universities, okay? But then when it comes to, if you do not get access to maybe the regional scholarship, when it comes to you getting accommodation, it might be a bit of an issue, because I had a student in just this past year. He had the university, he had everything, but then he couldn't get accommodation, and the school said they could not help him until he actually gets to Italy. But then where does he live? Where does he stay? So that's one thing, a couple of things that you also have to look at. And then outside of that too, like, you know, the opportunities to actually work like out, like in the north, in the north and then the middle part of Italy, the opportunities you can work. Some of you were asking, I know most of you come in, you want to be able to work as a student. And is this part, the middle to the out there, that the opportunities for you to really work. But then out there in the south, unless you get to kind of like work for your university, aside from that, I don't know whether it's possible for you to work in a restaurant, hotel, to do babysitting in those areas. It's not something you easily get. So that's one thing you need to take note of. You easily get acceptance to those places. They may be sincere with you, but then these are the downsides. So that's a couple of things that you need to take note of. Then Chindendu is asking, how can one easily search for? Oh, okay, I've answered that. Can you pin a list of schools currently open for applications? Inaji, okay, Genevieve Inaji, not Genevieve, but Inaji. Inaji is asking, Inaji, I've actually pinned it. I pinned the first part, but then I couldn't pin all because I pinned the name of the university, the site to directly apply. I'll be making a video on it as well, so that it kind of like helps you. But then I pinned the link to apply, and also the like the deadline. So it was too much, so I just had to divide it into 3 messages. I could only pin the first part. So let me just write the universities, or let me leave just the links. What do you guys think? Let me just pin the links directly to the university site. At least when you get there, you know which university you're going to apply, so that I'll be able to pin it for you guys again. But then I've pinned I've kind of like pinned it. If some of you don't know, check my pinned message, you'll be able to see it. I'm trying to pin just the websites. Is that okay? I'll just pin the website to directly apply. But then yes, I've already mentioned the schools. How much is the cost of applying diploma in Italy? Okay, this one is asking, how much does it cost to apply? Okay, to apply in what sense? The cost of tuition, or the application fee, or please specify. I don't really understand. And then diploma, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. Bachelor's, master's, which diploma are you talking about? I don't really get it. So please clarify the question. I have another question from okay, Chidindu is asking, aside putting in the application, how can one be positioning himself for scholarship? Well, when you do apply for the first call, during the first call, in most universities, you actually stand a chance of being considered. But what you should take note of, for you to be considered, this university scholarships, they are merit-based scholarships. So you can only be considered if you came out with good grades. Yes, good grades, excellent grades. Yeah, that's it. You can only be considered if this is the situation for you. But then outside of that, the next form of scholarship, because we have the merit scholarships, which is that of the university scholarship and departmental scholarship. The next form of scholarship is that of the governmental scholarship, which is MySi and Invest Your Talent in Italy. They will open, Invest Your Talent will open from, I think, late this year, early January. So be on the lookout. When it opens, I'll drop it on the channel, don't worry. Then that of the MySi will open somewhere April, June, Yeah, somewhere April, March, April, June. If I'm last this current year they delayed a bit, but then yeah, then that one opened. Then the next set of scholarship is that of the regional scholarship. So whichever region you're going to, in all the regions in Italy, whichever university you're going to, there's a regional scholarship there. So these are the 3 levels of scholarship. So if you don't get this, you stand a chance of getting this. If you don't get this, you stand a chance of getting this. But then the governmental scholarship and that of the university scholarship, those are merit-based scholarships. But then the regional scholarship are need-based scholarship. So even if you didn't come out with good grades, you don't have to worry. If you don't get this one, so you can apply for the need-based scholarships. But then you have to get the document ready. I have a sample of the document pinned on my Instagram bio. Yeah, a couple of the sample there. And then outside of that too, this one they consider the economic situation of your family. So in as much, you know, they're not going to look at the CGPA you really graduated with, but then they are going to look at the economic situation of your family. So you need to prepare the document. Last year, a couple of the regional bodies that are in charge of the regional scholarship, they asked of the document of 2021. But in this year, I'm sure they'll be asking of that of 2022. So how does it work? You since you don't have assets and you don't make income in Italy as an international student, you have to present the ISEE UP. That is why I actually need to do a different video. I actually need to release a video where I explain to you how people actually get to study for 100 euros, 200 euros, for you people to really understand. It doesn't mean that the university is actually like the cost of the tuition for the academic year is 100 euros or 200 euros. No, it doesn't mean that. Some of them, like the cost is 1,500, 2,000 euros and all of that. But then it is presenting this document that most people get their tuition slashed. If you're coming from a poor country, like, you know, the list of countries in the poor countries, obviously they're going to slash your tuition. And then the next form of getting either a zero tuition or that of 100 or 200 euros is when you get a scholarship. So these are the 3 ways you can get to study for cheap in Italy. So I need to release that video so there are a couple of you who understand. Some of you think the cost of the tuition in the university, like on the university site, is that of 100 euros. No. If it's 100 euros, then all of us will be paying 100 euros. But then I made mention clearly of the fact that you can get to pay 200, I can get to pay 100, someone else will get to pay nothing. Why? Because of that document. If I am poorer than you are, obviously I need to pay lesser than you pay. Yeah, so that is how it works. Then let me go on ahead. I've applied to okay. Aside putting I've applied to University of Bologna. Chidindu, all the best, girl. All the best. Oh, I don't know. Chidindu. I don't know if it's a girl but then all the best. No, I think you are poor. All the best, boy. Oh, yeah. So all the best. What program did you apply for? Then Francis, I need to register. Okay, with you. What link can I use? Okay. If you guys need clarifications on a couple of things, let me pin the link to kind of like book a session, a paid session with me. Let me pin the link here so that you guys get to do that. But then you can, there's the link. Okay. I've dropped it in the chat. You can just easily click on it and then you get to book a session with me. So I've dropped it in the chat. So it's Chindu. Okay, wait. Yeah, Francis. Yeah, I've dropped it in the chat so you can kind of like check it out. Then, do you have any video on schools in Italy with cheapest tuition fee? Well, specifically on because people get to pay cheap. I've actually not considered that, but then I actually need to consider that, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know anybody who actually came to study in Italy and paid the actual amount of tuition. But then at the end, yeah, and then most universities, the cost is not really like very high. Yeah, but then I'll consider a video on that as well. I'll consider a video on that, because even if you don't get a scholarship, when you present the, well, what we call as family declaration document, and then they used to calculate your EZUP as an international student, the university automatically slash like, you know, your tuition fee. So because of that, I'm not like, you know, like other countries, cheapest universities, when this one in to say the cheaper ones are the public ones, because private ones are much more expensive in Italy. So the cheaper ones are public universities, and then the private ones are the more expensive ones. But then obviously, when I can, I'll do a video specifically on those with low tuition fees. But then be on the lookout. There is a high possibility you might not even have to pay that amount of money. Yeah, so that's what you should take note of. Keneke. Sorry if I mentioned your name wrong. Jause Keneke. Keneke, yes. Is it possible for one to apply for both master's and bachelor's degree programs at different universities in the same cycle? Obviously, yes. You can apply for master's in Bologna, apply for bachelor's in Milan, wherever. And then in most of the universities, you can apply for just two different programs. So maybe I want to study marketing and then also study purchasing. So in that same university, I can apply for this core and then apply for this core. I saw it in a couple of the universities. They mentioned you can apply to a maximum of 2 programs. So yeah, if you are interested, you can also do that. But then yeah, as long as it's different universities, you can apply for different things there. When which one, the one that accepts you, then you go with it. Please, the videos I have been watching so far talks about master's degree or do you enroll diploma in ET, and how will I get low tuition budget on? Okay, this one is asking, please, your videos I have been watching so far talks about master's degree or bachelor degree. Do they enroll diploma students in Italy, and how will I get low tuition diploma? Well, then that will have to be with the AFAM institutions. And then outside of that, there is a possibility for you to do foundation year. But then even with foundation year, after you're done with that, you need to start your bachelor's. So I think it is not best. I'm not even sure you might even get, well, let me not put that out there. But then majority of instances of students coming to study has to do with either with pursuing bachelor's, pursuing master's, PhD, because if you're moving to study abroad with all the funds that are involved, you need over 6,000 euros for your visa application. So you're just coming to study diploma. It usually does not really happen, unless those who are coming for seasonal and then they just study the Italian language and all of that. But then yeah, that is something I'll actually check out. Yeah, or you can even check it out on University. I kind of like dropped it in the chat. Go to University, write the particular program you are interested in, because even on University, for you to do the filter, it is just first level, second level, and then a third level. The first level is bachelor's, the second level is master's, the third level are those who do the single cycle. So 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years are for medical students. So even in the system, the filtering system, they don't have anything lesser than bachelor's. In filtering on university, they don't have anything on the sites on that. So probably you can check directly on the university site to find out whether they have diploma programs, maybe HND, or I'm not particularly sure, but then yeah, maybe it's possible. But it's something I've actually not really considered. Sorry to ask, if I work more than 20 hours in IT assistant, how would they find out? Boy, they're going to find out. First of all, you have to get a contract. While you're working as a student, you have to get a contract which stipulates that it's just 20 hours that you're working. There are instances where you can do like overtime, but then it should not be more, because if you work more, all the money that you work will go into taxes. Okay. And you cannot work more, because you cannot work more. And there is a way they will find out. And when they find out, you are going to, you're either going to get all your money going into taxes, or they're going to find you multa. So don't work more than 20 hours officially. Don't work more than 20 hours officially. And don't also go and work in a place where they don't give you a contract, because if anything happens to you, they will not account for you. You're a student. You're a student, so they will not account for you. So try and get opportunities where they are going to give you a contract. If you do get an an opportunity and you're working and you don't have a contract yet, be looking for other opportunities where you get a contract so that you easily move. But then please don't work more than 20 hours. I've said it too. This is social media. I've told you guys. Be there. This people, they will find out. It's not Nigeria, it's not Ghana. Here everything is in the system. Everything is in the system. You'll be there and you will see a fine that will drop. You will not like it. You will not like it. Okay. Do you have a video on the explanation of university? Chidindu, yes. I actually pinned it. Yeah. I pinned it just after your comment. I think I pinned it. Just after your comment, I pinned it. Then Aminat is asking, is the Italian education system difficult? I'll say it's challenging instead of saying it's difficult. You see the system that we are known to, like in Ghana, in Nigeria. I'm telling you, here it's demanding. Like you need to really study. You need to. That is why it's actually good for you to love the program that you're doing. Because if you don't like the program that you're doing, it's going to be difficult. There was a video where I spoke with a past student, Tess. She actually shared. She was very real. She was very sincere with us. She came in. Some of us, and a couple of you, when you get the opportunity, you don't even care. As long as the university has accepted you, you just come in like that. I will not necessarily say she just got the opportunity, but then she got the opportunity. She came in, and then she realized that that's not a program she could do. She was failing. She was not making the needed grades. And then for your regional scholarships, if you don't get the needed grade, they will not, you will not get in the second year. So at the end of the day, you have to fend for yourself and all of that. So when she saw that, she could no longer, she realized that, okay, the system in Kenya is not the same as in Italy. It's very demanding, and I don't even like the course I'm doing. I'm not able to do it. She had to stop, transfer from where she was here in the north, and she went to the south. She went to Camerino to go and start all over again. She started from level 100. You can find the video on my channel. I spoke with her. She had to start all over again, level 100, without scholarship. It was very, very, very difficult. So please, that is why I keep mentioning, like, be sure that you like the program that you are studying. Because so many people here in EP, your masters, they write there 2 years, but then you graduating 2 years, it's up to you. Some people do it for 3 years because of the So it's just up to you. So choose something that you really can do, and don't just my volume is to the max. Wait, let me can you guys hear me? Because I think who mentioned that? Someone is saying that I should increase my volume. You guys cannot hear me, don't worry. Let me use a mic instead. From power source. Thank you. Can you guys hear me? I'm using the mic now so that some of you could not hear me. Will be can Please tell me in the comments if you guys can hear me. I'm using the mic now. A mic now. Better now. Okay, that is good. That is good. Okay, so let me. Okay. Chidindu is like I applied for precise and sustainable agriculture because I'm okay, and I hope I stand a chance to be accepted. Oh, yeah, I pray you get accepted as well. Bologna is a great place, a great place, a great place, and I really, really like. Um, I'm okay. Okay, Neke, please, can you answer my questions, please? Okay, Neke, what question did you ask? I have a lot of questions here, and then maybe I might have skipped it or anything like that. Oh, I pronounced it correctly. Okay. Please, what question did you ask? Um, I'm sorry if I missed it. Chinedu is actually, I'm really anticipating the video on Easy Upi. Actually, I already have a video on Easy Upi. This year, the applications have opened. There are so many videos you'll be doing. I already have a video on Easy Upi. Um, try and check it out. There are a lot of videos on the channel, but then try and check it. But then the video I'll be making is actually to explain how you get to yeah. So obviously I'll mention about the Easy Upi, but then I have a specific video where I explain the Easy Upi, the documents to get, how to compile it, and then where to actually get the Easy Upi. Because it's not you that will get the Easy Upi. You have to they need a document from you to be able to compile the easier OP for you. Yeah, so I have a video where I explained everything. So the 15,000 school fee, is it for the 2 years and is the course duration? No. Most of them is, most universities academic year. They write the fees for academic years. Yes. So 1,500 is usually for academic years. One academic year. Then the next is, do you have videos on schools in Italy without application fee? I don't have a video on that yet. I don't have a video on that yet. And in a couple of universities that initially they were not taking application fees. Some of them are now taking application fees. So that is what you should also take note of. But then I have a couple of them that I've not yet seen on their site that they've mentioned that they are taking application fees. Even though a number of them are also have like they started mentioning that they are taking application fees. So I'm going to share that. I'm trying to make a video on that. I'll try and share the list of the universities because a number of them need to open up. When they open, they're going to let us know whether they are now taking application fees or not. So the list I have here are from some of the universities that have not opened yet. So it's not like it's like unconfirmed. Yeah, it's not confirmed as at this point. Yes. Then what other question do I have? Do you have okay? Chidindu is still asking, what is the difference between single and second cycle degree program? Because the University of Bologna application submitted to second degree program, but I've not heard any notification from them. Okay, Chidindu, when did you apply? Because sometimes you need to give it like a month. So when did you apply? University of Bologna. When did you apply? And then for which intake? Is it a September intake? Or which February intake, which of the intake did you apply for, and then how long has it been? Because you need to give it like a month before you start getting worried. Then outside of that, single and second cycle. No, it's either first cycle or second cycle. So it's either you're applying for bachelor's or you're applying for master's. But then the single cycle is it's 5 years. So I come a program, I do masters, I do bachelor's, and then I do continue on to do masters as compared to me doing it separately. That is what is known as the single cycle. Emmanuel is asking, does EC have vocational training schools? Yes. I think they fall under the AFAM institutions. They do, but I've actually not really looked that much into it because I know people are coming in to come and do bachelor's, masters, but I've not really looked much into it. So it's something I'll try and get more information like on. But then as always, you can go to University when you're doing the search, the filter, don't apply the university filter, apply the AFAM filter. I released a video on it. So if you've seen it, I also dropped the link in the chat so you can also click on it. Um, in that video, I used the university filter because I'm thinking of bachelor's and all of that. And then if you're going to the vocational route, or just like someone mentioned, diploma, that might be under the AFAM route. So you can apply the AFAM filter and see whether there are options for you to come and either do just a diploma or that of the training, vocational training um, options. Yeah. Um, I know. Actually, it is like the microphone is loud, but I'm feeling like you will be tired holding it. What can I do? Um, then Okay, Collison concept is asking, and how much is the proof of funds, please? So for last year, you need to have 6,000 euros. 6,000 euros. It should either be self-sponsored, you that you generated an amount of money, or it should be coming from your parents. So let me specify. In Ghana, it should be coming from either you, your parents, or your guardian. In Nigeria, you, your parents, your guardian, or someone you're related to that you have the same surname. In other parts, some other places, they don't really care that much. So it depends on your embassy. Then in other places, like currently some embassies have also started, some are also requiring blocked account, just like I mentioned in my video with um Waka Waka. Yes, so that is one thing you also need to take note of. Say 6,000. This year, obviously, we are looking at the amount being increased. So, in as much as showing that amount in your account is good, you need 6 months bank statement. In as much as showing that is good, what you need to take note of is they regard more. What they regard more is that of how you were able to generate that money. And I'm talking about this now because there was a student this year. He had 10 million naira. Nigerians. He had 10 million naira in his bank account. But then he's someone who earns, is it 10K or 100K? I'm not able to, 100K a month. So 100K, how were you able to raise 10 million naira within, like, with the statement that you're showing us? So having that money in your account is good, but then they want to see, like, so that's why the statement you providing, you need to show inflow, outflow. It should be a working account. So they had doubts, so he was still rejected. So you can still have the money, but they will reject you if they have doubt on the source of the income. They felt like it was a scam. There are a couple of people that get agencies to put the money in their account so that when you get the visa, they'll take it back. Yeah. So they were doubting. They were like, nah, this is not genuine. He didn't get the visa. So that's something you need to take note of. So if money was dropped into your account, don't wait until a month before applying for visa and then you drop like 5 million naira in your account. Where did you get it from? You need to explain. If for unforeseen circumstances you had to do that, try and ensure that you add like a statement to it. This is the reason why. This money is for my mother. This money is for my guardian. This money is for, yeah, so that they'll be able to get a clarification. If not, they will serve you pre-refusal letter. So many people received it this year. So many people received pre-refusal letters this year, and mostly it was due to their proof of funds. So please, that is something you guys need to take note of. Um, Francis, I dropped the link earlier. Let me see. Okay, I have it again. I've dropped the link again in the chat. Then Chidindu is asking, is it better to work in school or outside school as an assistant in terms of payment? Well, sincerely, let me tell you, in school, most of the time you might not get up to the 20 hours a week because they'll have other opportunities like for other students and all of that. So because of that, you might get around maybe 10 hours a week or something like that. But then there is a possibility for them to pay you more, like to pay you better. Let me not say more because here there's always on the floor.
but then there's a possibility for them to pay you better and then to give you a contract. So you can do the 2 hours in the school, the 10 hours in the school, and then look for another 10 hours outside campus. But then just ensure that you get someone, an employer that is actually like really good and they're willing to kind of like give you a contract. That is one thing you should. So yeah, you can work on campus, outside campus. Just that on campus, it's very it's not possible. It's not highly seen that you get to work black like without a contract. They will always give you one. But then outside, the employer can be like, oh yeah, work for a while. Let me see whether you can do the job, especially as international student. That's what he will do. They'll be like, oh, work for a while for me to see whether you can actually do the work. Before you see, you work for a month without a contract. And then you know what that means. It will not affect them, it will affect you later on. So they'll pay you fine and all of some people will even be willing to pay you more as you're working black because they know they're not paying any taxes on you. They're not paying anything for you. So that is one thing you also have to look out for. So yeah, obviously working out or on campus, it just depends. If you get the opportunity in your university, fine. If you don't get, look for after pre-enrolling, what next? Well, after you pre-enroll, the university would need to Chidindu is asking after pre-enrolling, what next? After you pre-enroll, the university will need to validate it. So, like, as universities are opening now, probably you've kind of like applied to 3 or 4 universities. All of them have gotten back to you. Wow, fantastic. That is the time for you to sit down and decide which of the universities do I want to go with. Because the rule of time here in Italy is you can only pre-enroll to one university. So you decide on that university and then you go and pre-enroll on university. Like you pre-enroll to that university. Why should you pre-enroll to only one university? Because when you pre-enroll, the university will validate it and send your information to your embassy so that you can apply for visa. Just imagine how can 2 or more universities send information about you to the embassy? Which of them is acting as your sponsor? Which of them are you particularly coming to Italy to come and study at? You understand? So it's only one university that can send your information to the embassy. So because of that, you decide and you pre-enroll to that university. Then after you're done with that, after they validate it, they send your information, then you go ahead and request for the visa. So you ensure that you look through the requirements from your embassy, you have your educational documents, your DOV, you have like everything required to apply for the visa, and then your proof of funds, which is very important. And then you request for the visa. You wait until they kind of like it's ready. They call you, oh, your visa is ready. This and this. If they have any doubts, they're also going to send you proof result letter for you to kind of like come and prove some of the things that they have doubts about. So if it's about proof of funds, they are not sure and then they don't really trust the person that you're saying can sponsor you, they can serve a pre-refusal and then tell you to give them more details about the person because it happened to someone this year. So yeah, you just present the documents and all of that, and then you are good to go. So that is what you need to take note of. Yeah, so I think the next question I have, sweat vest. Um, I have to put in my charger, so I have to take off the microphone. I'm coming.
Running low, low. Okay. I have a couple of questions here. Um. Okay. So I have to charger plugged in. I have to take off the microphone because my battery is running low, and then um. So I started my master's program. No, Ifeanyi is asking, um, is the right app for me on the sweat vest? Fine, God, then. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Then, um, uh, Sadat is asking, hi Anne, I started my master's program recently and the lectures took place through Teams. but starting next week, I have to be in person on campus. However, I have not yet traveled to Italy because I have not found any affordable accommodation that is available within the region from now until February next year. Let me tell you guys, accommodation is an issue here. That is why when you are applying as students, it's good for you to like start reaching out to your university early on and ask them about, accommodation, like possibilities about accommodation and all of that. But then, Mohammed, let me know, did you get a scholarship? Like, if you did get a regional scholarship, obviously the student residences should be open by now. So how come? Like, what's the issue exactly? You can email me about that so that I don't really understand how come you still haven't gotten. But then that's the reason why you need to start looking for accommodation early on. Like, try look for this. You can look for accommodations on these online platforms. As always, Housing Anywhere. Then there's this other site, Uniplaces, Housing Anywhere. You book an accommodation, but then the sustainable accommodation that you can actually use as a student is that of the student residences. So Suleimana, I think you should email your university about that. The international office is actually supposed to work with you, help you to be able to get an accommodation. They are actually supposed to help you with that in getting an accommodation. So please, my question is, are there any consequences if I'm unable to attend the lectures in person? Well, if for accommodation, you have to email the university about that and find out, because at the end of the day, you need to write exams. You said until February next year, but then you have to take exams for this period. Though in Italy, you can decide when to write your exams, but then as an international student, please don't pile up your exams. Don't pile it up. You might not see it up. So because of that, email your university about the current situation. Ask them if they are going to be like there are consequences because you chose to come and study here. First of all, do you have your visa yet? And then outside of that too, I'm sure if you have your visa, you can, when you reach out to the university, tell them you have your visa, but then now the only thing left is with accommodation. And I'm sure they will assist you with that, because your university is in the best place to kind of like assist you to get an accommodation, because your issue is actually like very, very strange. Okay, Chidindu is asking, sorry, what is DOV and what are the requirements for visa application? So you're an international student, your qualifications are foreign, and you're intending to come and study in Italy. You used your foreign qualifications to apply, and then you've been accepted. But then they need to understand your qualifications. They need to know the value of your qualifications. Because of that, they are going to ask you to actually finish your, like, to kind of like complete your enrollment. You need to present this DOV or senior statement. Formerly, it used to just be DOV. Now, they either request for DOV or senior statement of comparability and verification. For senior statements, you don't have to be walking up and down. We're going to like MOFA, MOE, and all of that to do the process. You just upload everything online, and then they do the verification and everything. The cost is expensive though. But then for DOV, which costs less, you have to take your documents, your educational documents, to MOFA university. To MOFA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in your home country. You get it authenticated. Then you go ahead and go to the education ministry, and then you also get it authenticated. While you're doing that, it's best for you to send your documents, educational documents, to an authorized Italian translator. The translator needs to be authorized by the Italian embassy. You can see the list on the university. You can see the list on the embassy's site, the embassy of your home country. You can see it on their site. If you are in Nigeria, Ghana, I have a video where I spoke about the list of authorized translators. Yeah, so you go to them, they kind of like translate your document for you. So after you're done with the translation, you're done authenticating and MOFA and that of the education ministry. You go on ahead and then request for legalization. for you to get a DOV, the embassy need to legalize it, say that, oh yes, your documents are actually real, authentic, before they can process the DOV for you. So this is the process. The DOV, this is the process. I have a whole video on it as well. You go here, you are done with this, then you go get it legalized, and then after that, then you get the DOV. However, one thing you need to know is, if you live in Nigeria, but then you studied in the UK, or probably you studied in China, wherever you studied at, you cannot process your DOV in Nigeria because that is not where you studied. So in this case, what do? You go and process your DOV in the country where you studied, because it is only the Italian embassy in the country where you studied that can actually authenticate and issue the DOV per the standards of that country. Okay, so you cannot process it in Nigeria. You cannot take the foreign document that you got from maybe UK, China, wherever, to the education ministry or the foreign ministry in Nigeria, because they did not issue that certificate. Every certificate has its own like identification number, and for that of China, you have to take it to China and process it there. So that is where you authenticate, you get the legalization, you get the DOV there. Then since you're in Nigeria now, then you request for the visa in Nigeria. So that's the trick about it. You need to but then if you studied in a country where you don't kind of like need the stamp for authentication, then obviously you also use the method for that one as well. I didn't apply for any scholarship. Oh, okay. So that is saying he didn't apply for any scholarship. Oh, okay. That is, yeah. So all you have to do is, now you just have to reach out to the university to kind of like seek their assistance, because you need it. You need to come in, get accustomed, get your documentation and everything. So that is one thing you actually need to okay. Energy, okay, validation of your, yeah, Energy answered the question. I already did that, and it just made me fill a Microsoft form. Okay, so when did you fill the Microsoft form? Have they gotten back to you? And she didn't do his accent. Okay, Sulemana, you've already gotten the visa, but then you don't have accommodation. That is something else. Try and reach out to your university. Which region are you coming to study, and which university, if you want to put it out here. If not, you can send me an email on it. But then it's best if you leave it here, because I have a chunk of emails like in my email box. Can you send the link to the list of authorized authenticators? I don't have a list. I don't have a link to the list. Okay, no, I have a video link, but I don't have the list. Like, let's say I have a video where I talked about the list of authorized like authenticators, but then I cannot pin it now because I have to go and search the channel to get that. So probably you can email me, then I send the video link to you. If not, you can also search on the channel, but then you can email me info.roya, and let me put it here, info.roya at gmail.com. Yes, I've dropped my email, so you can email me so I send the video link to you. Oh, Tovegata, that's strange. And you have not gotten a please yet in. That's so strange. Wow. I'm so sorry about that. I think you should work closely with the university to find a solution to this, because it might really affect your education at this point. Okay, then Concept is asking, please clip the mic to your. I actually took out the mic off because I had to charge the phone. So because of that, I'm no longer using the mic, because it's the same port to charge the phone. You guys get it? Yeah. Like, can you guys hear me? Maybe let me come a bit closer. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I have a question. I have a question. I have applied to Bergamo. A question from Naji. I've applied to Bergamo, Pisa, okay, Siena. My reason for applying to schools in the southern region is because of the schools. There are more scholarship opportunities. Okay, okay, that's good. Okay, okay, that's good. Then I got admission. Michael is saying I got admission to study in Italy, but when I was trying to legalize, I think I saw a question on that. I'm coming. I'm coming. Someone asked, no, 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 no. Ah, okay, no. Uh-huh. Sorry. I think after Kellison, I missed someone's question. Abena is asking, without a DOV, can you still apply for the visa? No. Is the you need the DOV is one of the required documents for requesting for visa. So no, you cannot. Without a DOV, you cannot request for visa. So, and even without the DOV, you cannot complete your enrollment at the university. And then they have deadlines like as to when you're supposed to present the DOV to them. So because of that, you need the DOV to even complete your enrollment and then request for the visa. So it's actually very, very important. Then okay, Michael is asking, I got admission to study in Italy, but when I was trying to legalize, they discovered a mistake with the arrangement of my name on my passport. Can I still use that admission to get into Italy by January? I don't get it. You've gotten admission into the university, and then now you're trying to legalize your documents to be able to come and study in Italy. So if they found a mistake with the arrangement of your name in your passport, the options available is to reach out to the university and kind of like, wait, is the issue with your passport itself or with your application? Because if there's a mistake with the arrangement of your name in your passport, you use that same passport to apply like during the application. So I'm not really getting the question. But then did you get back to the school? Did you inform the university about it? What did they say? Because that's strange. Because if you're saying, can I still use that admission to get into Italy by January? How? No. You can only get into Italy if you've legalized, you've gotten DOV, and then you've completed your enrollment with the university. You've requested for visa, and then that's when you can only enter into the country. So let me understand what you mean by whether you can still use that admission to enter into Italy. Entering into Italy is beyond getting admission. It's actually getting a visa. Getting admission and then getting a visa. Okay. Oh, okay. I got 1 year visa with multiple entry. Suleiman is saying, oh, okay, then that's good. Southern region. Which other region is okay to study? The northern and then the middle band. Actually have a video on that as well. The middle band, Emilia Romagna, Veneto is to decide, but then from the middle band upwards, Piemonte, Lombardia, like all of these regions in the middle section to the north section, yeah, they are also like good places for you to consider. Okay. Okay. Ruben, you say yes. Yes to what? I'm not really getting it. I have also searched through the platform you mentioned, but most rooms are available starting next year. Yes, because so many people are actually booking. So you're supposed to book in advance, like earlier. It's so unfortunate. And outside of that, some universities, they're actually going to add you on or give you like some links to join some Facebook groups there where you can kind of like, oh, I need a room for this, I need a room for that, I need a room for that. Didn't your university do that for you? And I think you should still keep reaching out to them about your situation, because it's very, very important that they help you out to know. Yeah, so the pre-acceptance letter to apply. If I have the DOV, can I use the pre-acceptance letter to apply for the visa? Yes, you also need the summary from University Italy. The summary from university, you have to go back to University Italy and then print and get a copy of the summary, your pre-enrollment summary. You need to add it to it as well. Yes. So in instances where you don't have the acceptance letter, that's when you can go with like your summary. But the summary is constant, like you need to add the pre-enrollment summary to it. So you can add the letter and then add the summary to it as well. But then they usually state this or this. From the requirements, they state this or that. Yeah, so that's what Aman Kwabena asked. Okay. So 7 minutes and then we'll be done with this session. Any more last questions? Yeah, Kelly is asking, is scholarship available in Italy? There are so many scholarships available in Italy. So many. Some are studying for free actually. So there are so many options available in Italy. So many scholarships. Thanks for the feedback. I'll send you an email. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so Kelly, yes, there's so many scholarships in Italy. We have the university and departmental scholarships. We also have that of the governmental scholarships, which has to do with Invest Your Talent in Italy, and then MyC. Then next up, we have the regional scholarships, whichever university you're intending to come and study, as long as it's in a region, which obviously will be in a region. All regions in Italy have their own like scholarships. So for students, so for the governmental scholarship and that of the university scholarships, they are considered as the merit-based scholarship, and then that of the regional scholarships are considered as the need-based scholarship. So they're not so much going to look at your grades. They're going to look at the situation, the economic situation of your family. So yes, there are a lot of scholarships actually. A couple of, like, that's how so many people get to actually study for almost nothing out here. Yeah. Michael is asking, like, I finally make the correction, can I still use the admission to apply for visa by January, because the visa application closes this month and I'm still expecting a new passport by next month? No, you'll not be able, like, once it's over, you might not be, because if the visa application is closing this month and then you'll be getting a new passport next month, you have to reapply to the university, because the window is already closed. The window to get the visa is already closed. Like, if it ends this year, then if it ends this year, then obviously no, if it ends this month, no, obviously when you get a new passport next month, you will not be able to. But then my question is, was it that same passport that you used to request for the like you used to apply? If it's that same passport, then it's pretty strange. Then how often, okay, she didn't do it asking, how often do you usually hold this live session on YouTube? Well, not, I'll try and be doing that often henceforth. Yeah, I'll try and be doing that more henceforth. Okay, can you recommend university that offers cybersecurity? Well, go to University Italy, put in cybersecurity, and then filter the searches, and you're definitely going to come up with a university. You're definitely going to come up with a university that offers your program of choice. So yeah, I'm trying to connect my laptop, it's low battery. But then I'll be ending the session in a minute. Yeah, in 4 minutes. Then I have another question from Ruben. I actually got pre-selected to study at La Sapienza for 2020. Okay, but then I couldn't get the required DOV and CMA on time, so I will make my application to study. Okay, intake. No, it will not be. If you were not able to, the new academic year, you just apply. You were not able to get the documents, so yeah. Then Ruben is asking, and do they offer scholarships for? Then Ruben is asking, um, um, do they offer scholarships for bachelor students? Yes, the scholarships are available for everyone. So masters, bachelors, like everyone, the scholarships are available. Then the last question I'm going to answer, and then I'll have to go off this live, is how can we manage, how can you message you for guidance? You have to book a session with me, and then you also have to book a paid session with me, and then you can send me an email here, info@royalann@gmail.com. I'll pin the comments, guys. That is it for tonight. I gotta go. But that is it for tonight. I'll try to be doing more of this live, especially during like Sundays. Yeah, I'll be doing more of it during Sundays or Saturdays. And then if it's possible, I'll bring some of my peeps on it, like some of my friends that are studying and all of that. So like look out for this. We'll be doing more of these lives, especially in December, because most schools would have opened. You guys might have so many questions to ask. So I'll try and be doing it each and every week. I'm not promising you I'll try and be doing it each and every weekend. Yeah, and if it's possible, when I visit some of my friends or they visit me, we'll do it like together, so that a couple of us will answer your questions. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be making a video on it. I need to verify. Some of them need to open, because some of them that weren't taking application fees are currently taking application fees. So I need to verify. And then yeah, when I do the video on it, but then you can check Messina, check at this point, because Bergamo takes application fee, Sapienza takes application fee. Yeah, so I think just expect the video on it, because I need to verify first before putting it out on social media, because some of them, they opened, I went to the site, and then they've written boom, application fee there. So obviously if I told you it's a free application, you would go and then the application fee is there. So they need to open for me to see. If they don't mention application fee, then that means you don't take application fees. So do your search on University Italy, go to the program site. If they take application fee, you see it there, you understand. But then I need to verify first before putting it, because last year, the rules for last year is different from this year. And university would not be taking application fee last year, but then this year they would have changed the things, their processes and all of that. Yeah, so don't worry, I'll soon release a video of the ones like the ones I'm sure of that I've not seen on their site that they're taking application fee as at this new 2024 admission. Then I'll put it out on social media. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, obviously. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for coming on, for asking questions and all of that. If you have like any more questions or anything like that, just send me an email. It's better, don't send me DMs, because I have so many messages on Instagram. Don't say like, for me to really help you, because sometimes your question, I've already answered it in a particular video. So it's better you send me an email. I can link the videos, like that answers your questions, how to guide you on a particular process. Maybe I already have a video on it. I'm able to attach it in the email and send it over to you. You understand? So it's best send me an email instead of sending me like an IG message. Okay, so that is it. I'll see you in my next live, possibly next week or next 2 weeks. And I'll see you again in another video of mine as well. So thank you for coming on. Ciao a tutti. Ciao a tutti. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Ciao. Ciao. Let me end this.